lot of people have that difficulty with self-actualization, realizing what they're good at. And is it something that is like a trial and error process? Of course, the support of your family is really helpful.
It is a lot of trial and error. You're gonna fall flat on your face, and you have to sometimes realize, like, maybe this is like maybe this thing is just a hobby. B, maybe you're not as good as you thought you were at it. And I think that one is really important. When I was in pro wrestling, Shelton Benjamin, who was a 4-time national champion collegiate wrestler at the University of Minnesota, jumped up on the top rope, and then he proceeded to walk around the ring on the ropes like a tightrope type of thing, and then he did a backflip into the ring. And the guy's jacked, and he couldn't look better. I mean, he was shredded. And I was like, whatever that was right there, I can't do that. Like, I'm not that guy, And you hear people all the time say, oh, you can do anything if you apply yourself. And it's like, okay, there's definitely some truth to that. But you can't all of a sudden like play in the NBA because maybe you're not tall enough, and maybe you're just not skilled enough, and maybe it's just too late. Maybe you didn't acquire those skills at the right age, or, to be even like 30 years old and all of a sudden go into something like gymnastics. It's not that you can't do it, but it would be really, really difficult. And maybe it wouldn't be in your best interest to even try it, to even go towards it, because it would consume so much time. And maybe also in that process, maybe it would change slightly who you are, because you have to change so many damn things just to kind of get to that, get that thing. So I think it is a lot of trial and error. You have to be, I think a really important thing for a lot of people to try is to try to be open-minded and try to be accepting of things. Be willing to try stuff, be willing to fail, be okay with, like, if it does work out. Like, I know a lot of people have ideas, like, I want to start a podcast, or I want to start, writing a book or whatever. Don't be afraid to fail. Don't be afraid to start. You're going to have to just start. Starting is actually the easiest part. I know everyone thinks it's the hardest part. Maintaining is the hardest part. Continuation is the hardest part. Consistency is the hardest part. But if you're having trouble with consistency, then you know that it's probably a good time to bail, because you're just not, it's clear that you're not as into it as you originally thought. So I think, trying to find something that you can be consistent with. Like, why would you be consistent with something? Why would you be consistent with seeing a new girl that you just met? You would be consistent because you dig them. You're like, this girl's out of this world. This girl's great. I want to spend all the time that I possibly can with them. So as soon as I get off of work, as soon as I get out of school, boom, I'm going over and I'm going to pick them up, and we're going to hang out. And you're going to hang out as much as you can. And it's not hard to have consistency. So you have to think about, like, what's something that you can have consistency with, and you could take that into any aspect of your life. That could be relationships, it could be diet, it could be strength training, it could be whatever.